And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live, series finale between the San Francisco Giants, Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays come out on top. They blasted the San Francisco Giants 10-0, but that wasn't the story of the game. We almost watched a little bit of history on TV with Dylan Cease getting into the eighth inning, or I should say getting into the ninth inning without giving up a hit. How about that? That was something to watch. Giants just could not do anything against Dylan Cease, and the bats couldn't. They're just whatever. It is what it is. Logan Webb, I don't know what's going on with him. That was bad, man. That first inning, and look, if you watch some of Logan Webb's games over the past, usually the first inning is an inning where he usually isn't his sharpest, but today, woo-wee! Man, that was bad. Grand slam to cap it off in that first inning. Again, Toronto, it was over in the first inning, 5-0. How the hell are the Giants going to come back from that? Now, granted, you still play the game. I get it, but it just looked bad. Really nothing. As far as the post game is concerned, Glenn, I mean, it was all Dylan Cease and nothing else.
Yeah, it was all Dylan Cease, and I like that part. Nothing else. Yeah. Nothing else. It was a battle of an all-star and a guy who shouldn't be an all-star. Eric, what are we doing here? Major League Baseball is a joke these days, this all-star game. The all-star game means nothing. They don't play hard. They don't hustle in it anyway. It's not must-see TV like back in the late 70s, the 80s, when we saw the Fred Linds of the world hitting grand slams and great pitching. And I mean, Giants are what we expected them to be. If you were with us in the morning show today, Lou, as my witness, I said that Webb would have a hard time getting through the first run through the batting order, first, second, or third innings. I said they'll be all over this guy. And sure enough, true to my word, and I picked the over on this game, Lou. It was, as I call it, easy money. Giants just horrific, Eric. I don't even know what to say anymore other than stop propping up. Guys, stop texting me. Stop propping up these guys like we're going to trade them for an all-star handful of players and the greatest rookie prospects of all time. We don't have anything to deal. Webb, Arise. I still don't think you're going to get the sun, the moon, and the stars for Arise. People know that he's going to walk at the end of this year anyway. I don't know. It's frustrating watching this team. Dylan Cease, tremendous effort today. He's used to pitching against the Giants and at this ballpark, so a little bit of an advantage there from a visitor standpoint. But it's what I expected. I called 6-4 or 6-1, whatever it was, 6-4, I think. Wasn't even that close. It was over before the crying really started. Eric, first inning.
Terrible, man. Lou, what'd you think?
I just want to tell you 10 innings, 16 hits, 12 earned runs, 3 homers. It's amazing how a player can be pitcher of the month. And right now he's nominated for probably the worst pitcher of the month. That's sort of a giant season up and down. I've never seen anything like it. I think if Webb was good, I think he'd say I shouldn't be an all-star with a record 2 games under 500. I think something might be wrong with him, and take the week off and figure out his problems. The other thing is, again, Buster said under no circumstances we would trade him. That's what he said. And then what happens? He gets pounded twice. It's almost like Buster's a curse. So I want to bring that up. But overall, we talked about it where Toronto woke up last night. They came back. I thought, hey, we almost saw history. I don't care if it's the Giants making the history either way. It's pretty good. I mean, Cease, like I think Glenn said, pitched many times against the Giants. If you guys don't remember him as a San Diego Padre, guy makes $200 million a year. Definitely pitched like an ace today. And I think with the Giants right now is maybe the break can't come fast enough. We haven't really spoke about that. I think a lot of people are tired. I think the bats are tired. They're not getting a break where now they got to go 7 games to go into the All-Star break. But I just think they're sort of tired going through the motions. I mean, except for Ramos, who's sort of showing up and doing everything. And of course, got the big hit today. You can just sort of see it. They're running out of gas. And the All-Star break, I think, is coming right at the perfect time. I know Robert says he pitched good after the first inning. Robert, no one really cares that he pitched good 2nd through the 7th. I mean, nobody cares. He got pounded again in the 1st and the game was over. So, it's one of those things where it happens in baseball, but I really think the All-Star break is coming at the right time for the Giants. And hopefully during this All-Star break, some moves can be made because this team, it's tough to watch. But back to you guys.
You know what, Lou? I disagree with you, and it's not too often that happens. Keen says the fans are tired now, Lou. I disagree with Lou and his sentiment because I have to ask Lou, if the Giants bats are so tired, what are they tired from? Well, they haven't done anything, Lou. How can they be tired?
Okay. It's been a long season. Hey,
I understand what you're saying there, but I'm just saying.
I got it.
Jeez.
I got it.
Lou's wearing the Shamrock green. We're throwing away the Shamrock too.
Yeah, that was a little rhetorical. So that, what I'm saying, because you were just trying to make a point that the Giants ain't doing much. I get it. And to your point, Lou, real quick, as far as Ramos, remember Ramos has been on the shelf for quite some time. He hasn't, so he's got his legs are a little bit more fresh. I think Adames for sure. That back is still bothering him. But that said, my gosh, man,
if the facts bother him, why is he out there today, Eric? If that's the case, then why is he out there?
Because he wants to go out there and play. And that's what happened. These big leaguers, they do that, man. They'll go out there and play with injury. I know Chapman was probably playing with it. They even talked about before Chapman pulled that abdominal strain. They said it was bugging him for weeks before that. And they getting paid the big bucks and they want to go out there and play. They don't want to look like they're not pulling their weight.
Then that's the inmates running that asylum again, Eric.
Well, yes.
Who's calling the shots here?
And here's the thing is, what are they telling the manager? Maybe they're not telling the manager anything because they want to play. And that does happen. But to your point, yeah, if you're running that clubhouse, you probably should understand what your guys are doing. Just by watching them out in the field, you could tell, right? If they're out, if the coaches are in the dugout and they're watching these guys, whether they're swinging the bat or playing the field, they'll know, he's fighting something. And
a lot of times this year,
you got to make those decisions.
Eric, don't you agree? A lot of times this year, and we've seen it. Devers, the wag of the finger, and there's other things that. Don't you feel like this? I got to question Tony, man. I got to question him.
Yeah,
It seems to be a country club attitude here, man. Guys smiling. You're losing 5-0, and they're still patting asses and smiles, and we're having a great time. It's not a great time when you watch this.
Not a good look. That's for damn
16 games below 500. 16.
It's rough.
Lou, we might just tell. I told Lou a couple of weeks ago. He thought I was crazy. I said, at the end of the year, we'll be 25 below. Lou's thinking more 20. I think there's room. I think we can hit 25 below.
Hey, once this trade deadline stuff is over, very well could happen because
Could go
if you think
backwards,
the team's bad now,
And that's not a bad thing.
No, it's
Not a bad thing, though.
Another thing I like what Lou said, talking about the All-Star break, it also gives time for the front office to really get serious in talking to other teams. It may not be consummated, but you got to start working them phones and say, hey, this is what we got. What do you like? This is what we like in your organization. Let's get a deal done somehow, some way.
Who knows?
Because
Robbie Ray now penciled in tomorrow.
Yeah. Robbie Ray, I guess you said he's going to pitch on Friday. They're not pitching him tomorrow, so I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know. Who knows? It's the same team. Look, Colorado's coming in tomorrow, so it's not like you're not facing a certain team. You're facing the same team you would have faced tomorrow as you would on Friday. So maybe they're giving them extra day. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is as far as pushing Ray's start out. Maybe there is some. Maybe there is some trade noise. I heard that Wizenhunt was in the building yesterday or today or something like that. I thought I saw something about that. So maybe Wizenhunt's going to get a start tomorrow. Maybe they want to see more of him because I tell you what, Giants need to figure out what they got. As far as pitching is concerned, they got to figure out, is Roop the future? Is McDonald the future? Is Wizenhunt the future? They're going to have to figure this out. And see what they have, because when you make these moves at the trade deadline, it might be pitchers that replace the guys that we currently have on the big roster. Maybe again, are they cutting it? I don't know. That's something that has to be internally talked about within the club. But I got a feeling that this is not going to be a break that's going to be just taking it easy, at least for the front office. I think they're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting.
I got to question the fan base too, Eric. At this point of the season, when are they gonna see the signs, Eric? When you're 16 games out, we're not at the All-Star break. You're 16 games below 500, and some of the fan base still think it's jolly hockey sticks. Things are great, man. We're just a trade from turning it around, Eric.
No, the fans are going to fan how they want, whatever. That's their prerogative. But it looks like, for the most part, from what I've seen on Twitter and here in the chat, about 99% of the people are going, it's over.
What was the attendance today, Lou?
The games, gentlemen. That's why they play the games.
Yeah,
come on,
I've
Marty.
seen this.
I heard it, and now we admit it's over. I mean, come on. I don't want to hear this. I think Marty and Glenn, I think there's a little bit homer in this, but it's over with. You can see right now. Here's the other thing. If they do finish 25%, I think Buster should be fired, which they won't. I think Tony V shouldn't come back. I mean, you're giving us the worst team possibly in Giants history. Why do they deserve to come back? What's another $11 million? Why don't we pay 5 managers for the price of 1? It can't be like this. And, of course, watch the Giants. They're assuming there's going to be no season next year, and somehow a miracle happens and we play. I don't want to see either one. If they wind up 25 below, that's a disgrace. With the payroll, the product put together. Also, you know who else should be fired? Larry Bear. I want all 3 of them gone. And, I think all 3 don't deserve a job. I mean, the product on the field is a disaster. The A's have now, you're 3 in Sacramento. You're the only game in town baseball, and this is the best you can do. Got to be major changes, guys.
Was there a crowd at the ballpark today, Lou? I didn't really notice on the TV broadcast.
They said
it looked pretty packed.
Yeah, it's a day game. They said 34,000. That's what they said Monday when I was there. So that means there was probably about 25.
Yeah, there were a few phantom. Yeah, we called that on the morning show today too, Lou. I said to be a few phantom fans at the game today, and sure enough, and a lot of Jays fans coming up from the West Coast there. See, a lot of fans come down from Seattle and Vancouver to see the Jays. So it's getting, you know what happens, Lou, when a team sucks this bad, getting to see a lot. We always say it's the Dodger fans invade Oracle. We're starting to see a lot more of the other teams, the competition's colors around the ballpark, Lou. Well, so where are the Giant fans? They're dropping out of this. They're giving up, man.
Go on StubHub and see how many tickets are available for this weekend. I think it was.
I bet you it's a bunch.
It's a bunch, and the tickets, I mean, $7 for lower level. I mean, obviously Glenn paid, still a lot paying for 5, but it's bad. And again, I don't understand the giveaway on Friday. It's Black Fireworks Night. I don't even know what that means. They added another giveaway on Sunday. I think it's a SpongeBob corduroy hat. I guess
the old
I've seen the
corduroy
commercial.
Ooh,
it's
seen the
something.
commercial.
Yeah. So I don't know, what else you could do, but like I said, me being a fan, beside us getting a couple days off next week, I'm glad we're gonna have a little break with the All-Star break because this gets old.
Ain't that the damn
very
truth?
quickly.
corduroy hat day. It'll go with those pants you wore in high school, Eric.
Yeah, but it's not jean corduroy.
Hey,
I think it's more like
or the
brown
70s,
corduroy.
the 70s bedspread.
I went to a private middle or elementary and middle school, and we had to wear corduroys. Everybody zipping away, man. That's all you heard. Zip, zip, zip.
Oh, we all can't be going to Lou. We can't all be going to private schools now. Come on.
Well, it is what it is. But anyways,
But we could all be going to the Chase Center, Lou. Want to go catch a Valkyries game? Have a great night out, get entertained, watch a team win, a team that's going to the play. They're already going to the playoffs halfway through the season. We're so good. I don't get it, Eric. You want to be entertained. You cheer for your team. You cheer for them to win. How often you got to show up cheering for them to win only to see a product like we saw yesterday and today?
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know. Did you guys talk about this yesterday? Did you see what Jeff Passan wrote yesterday? Did you guys talk about it by chance?
About the 2 possible guys leaving?
No, about who he
'cause
has in his
talked
his top 100 in trade candidates. And I don't know. Did you see who he had at number 7?
Is that Lewis Arise? If I remember,
Jung Hoo Lee. He has Jung Hoo Lee at number 7 as far as the top one. Now, I don't know if he stratified that list. I would think so. Well, I mean, what's the point of having the top 100 if you're not going to make it to where, hey, yeah, number 1 is going to be something big and a 100 be nothing. So they got Jung Hoo Lee, and I was kind of surprised.
I like that. I think he goes to a team where he gets on base, Eric. He's got guys around him who are going to drive him in.
But I'll tell you where it looks bad. And again, this is typical for this season. It really looks bad for the San Francisco Giants. Because for the simple fact, what did they do this last offseason? They put on the full court press. They went to Korea to try to get their foothold in that Korean market. And now we're sitting here talking about possibly trading him. I mean, and look, half-ass.
And here's the thing. Remember, they were spending all their time overseas because it's a sure thing. No problem. Farhan's got this guy locked down, a guy named Yamamoto. Where did he go? So they wasted all that time over there whining and dining and we've already got we've got his signature to paper. It's coming. And I'm tired of Giants, the lies. They lead you down this garden path, Eric, and we buy into it. And from now on, I don't believe nothing until I see it.
I hear you. But I found it interesting. Jeff Passan, he's not a guy that just goes out there and throws out stuff.
No.
He's going to have
rumors. He's heard rumors.
He's got his feelers out, so to speak, and to have Jung Hoo Lee at 3, man, and he'll bring back something. Today, look, I saw a couple of mock
ESPN had 2. ESPN had 2, Eric, that we spoke about. One, Luis Arias going to the Yankees with all their problems, and Ray to was it the White Sox, Glenn? That we talked
White
about
Sox,
yesterday?
and I still say it. Team like I think Pittsburgh could use him.
Yeah.
Hey. I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you guys see who got ranked the number 1 farm system in Baseball America? The Milwaukee Brewers. That should be a team that the Giants should target. Both clubs are heading in opposite directions. The Giants are sucking this year, and the Milwaukee Brewers, they're going to put together a strong run. I would get with them and try to poach away some of the guys they have by trading something that the Giants may or may not have, and
one of their starters went down. One of their starters is done. So here's a golden opportunity. Webb right there, a fresh start. Do that, and then you can do it. The one thing too is we spoke about this the other day. Last night. Me and Glenn. It's San Diego right now is faltering back.
Oh, they're talking about maybe trading Mason Miller. That's the talk, man.
So the rumor that we saw was Mason Miller could bring 5 or 6 great prospects because he still has 2 more years on the contract and he isn't making much money. You then get away. Their 8th inning guy is really good. He's 3 years under control. You can get probably 2 prospects there. The other thing, the Yankees have been talking, not with Chapman, with them about Machado. That'll get them. They could probably trade 3 of their guys because they're going nowhere. You know, San Diego's gone for it every year. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. They're going to trade 3 guys. They're probably going to get 11 prospects, which will be good for the next 3 or 4 years. You know, and that's what the other thing. The Giants got to beat some team like San Diego. They got to beat them before they give them up. Because right now, you know, you got Skubal, probably Miller are probably the top 2, and then probably a level down. You know, you got to get it soon. So don't be surprised, you know, that other teams are going to be doing it. And that's where the Giants got to step up. They got to step up.
There's a couple.
Yeah,
of
Lou, on top of that, not just step up. I think contrary to what Eric was talking about earlier in the season, I think the trade's got to go now, Lou, before we have competition for the guys we're trying to unload. Get rid of them now while get in early, man. Because
the problem is the Skubal, that's going to be hard. He's going to be the one that everyone's going to be trying to go after.
Yeah, but Lou just threw out closer from San Diego, and by the end of it, come trade deadline day, we play second fiddle to everybody else's offer at that point. Eric, we don't have the manpower to trade.
Well, we do. I mean, it's not like it's completely dearth of anything. The Giants will be. Look, don't expect some number 1 pick coming from someone else, but the Giants are going to be able to get somebody. Let's take a look at this again, Coach Yak.
Their chances, I think, are better now than then. I think the
problem is you have to work with another team, and another team, if they're not ready to go now, well, then you're at the mercy of them. That's the problem with trades. This isn't like free agency where you just say, hey, here's all the money. What do you want to sign? You got to work with another team, and if the team doesn't want to do anything at this particular time, well, you're going to be stuck. That's the problem with the trade.
They're going to be stuck if nobody wants to deal with them on trade deadline day anyway.
Hey, you know what? That very well may happen.
And Lou and I went into a big, we covered it in depth last night, Eric. No offense, but I'm telling you guys. And Lou, we were talking about it on the show last night. No, nobody is calling the Giants saying, we're in the playoff chase. We want to batten down the hatches, so we must have guys out of your bullpen. Come on.
Here we go.
If we don't want them, why does everybody else want them, guys?
I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. You gotta be able to work with another team. You have to, and if you can't, all this just goes for naught. But Coach Yak, he's a good follow on Twitter, guys. He's got a couple of mock drafts here. Again, with Matt Chapman. Again, that's going to be a tough one for the simple fact with that no trade, but. Here it is. You got Phillies, you got Pirates, and you got Yankees. Do you think Matt Chapman would release his or give up his no trade to go to Pittsburgh?
I don't think he goes. I don't think anybody wants Matt Chapman.
Phillies, they might need a third baseman, right? There again. Look, Matt Chapman with Ryan Walker. I don't think that's going to happen after today's performance. You get the number 5 pick and a number 8 pick from their organization.
Who's Coach Yak? Sounds like a fan, Eric.
He's good. No, he's good. He covers the Giants and the Niners. He's got like 60,000 followers on Twitter. He's pretty good. The Yankees. Now the Yankees do need a third baseman. This one right here probably seems the most logical, right? And it's saying you just trade him and you get the number 5 and in both pitchers, number 5 and the number 30 prospect ranked in the Yankees organization. Both of them pitchers. Again, Giants need pitching. Another one here with Luis Arias, and they're packaging Luis Arias with either Robbie Ray, Brubaker, or Adrian Hauser. Again, to the Phillies, because the Phillies do need a pitcher, but you throw in Luis Arias, you get their number 2 pick, their number 4 pick, and their number 13 in their organization. 2 pitchers and a second baseman. Nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Tampa Bay, you get their number 4, their number 11, and their number 13. A pitcher, an outfielder, and a first baseman. I don't know anything about these guys, by the way. And then you got Texas Rangers, because Texas Rangers are in the thick of it, man.
They're in first place.
Luis Arias and Adrian Hauser for their number 4, their number 6, and their number 17. Again, 2 pitchers.
Attaboy.
What the hell? A shortstop and a pitcher? Never. I've never seen
All right.
that.
Eric, I have a question. If you're these teams and you're looking for a third baseman, would you rather have Machado, who's been in the American League before?
No way.
Or would you rather have Chapman?
If I was another team, I'd take Chapman for the simple fact the contract. Oh my God. Do you see how much is owed on Machado?
Yeah, but you get what you pay for,
And
Eric.
there's
Do I want?
$300
Do people?
million.
Shouldn't be about the money. Do people want Chapman? We don't want him. Why should someone else?
Chapman, look.
He is what he is. His numbers
bat-
are what they are. He's piss
bat
poor,
steady?
Eric. He's an average player who's overpaid.
No, I'm not saying he's not overpaid. I'm just saying Machado is not much better and he's worse defensively. And you're paying a whole hell of a lot more on Machado. And it's a lot longer. Chapman, you only got for another 5 years. With Machado, I think you got him, another 7?
If the game's on the line, Eric, who do you want at bat? Do you want Machado or do you want Chapman? And I want Machado
Neither.
all day long.
Neither. They both suck.
Well,
Just
this
thought I'd
wasn't
throw
a
it out
neither
there.
question. This was who would you want? Which of those
Neither.
two? You got two guys on your line.
I don't want either of them. I don't want either of them. That's me.
Okay. You answered the question for us, Eric. If you don't want him, why does anyone else?
Because another team has probably a worse third baseman. Look at the Yankees. Oh my God. They need a third baseman. And with Judge still on the shelf, you got to get it somewhere, man. You have to.
Eric, I think you're overreacting. What do you think, Lou? Jump on board. You can jump on. You're going to either jump with me or jump with
I
Eric.
think
But jump
Machado's
2
proven
feet
to
in.
be Machado's, I know he's down right now, but he's done it before. I can't remember when Chapman has done it offensively. And I think, you talk about Chapman. I'd love to look up the stats right now defensively. I think Chapman has 11 errors. I don't think Machado has 11
Chapman
errors.
is the highest ranked defensively for all third
Oh,
basemen.
WAR is a joke.
Yeah.
It's not WAR.
Throw WAR
It's
out.
not a WAR.
Lou and Logan
No.
Webb's an ace.
No. Defensive runs saved. Matt Chapman leads all third basemen in defensive run saved. That is a defensive stat.
So let me tell you something. When I went to the game on Monday, I had fans behind me saying, God, I've never seen Chapman be so good at third. It was Casey Schmidt playing third. So that's how bright the
Now,
Giants
that's a
fans
fan.
are.
That's a
So,
fan base.
I just want to bring that up. And the other thing about Chapman, how healthy is he? I think he could maybe say, guys, I'm worse, so he doesn't get traded. He's more comfortable here. Does Machado have a no trade clause? I don't know,
but he's getting paid $300.
So-
Let's look at the numbers between Chapman and Machado. 2.7 WAR. Again, you know what that WAR is because of his defense. They both almost have the same amount of games played. Home runs. Machado has 18. Okay. Got more power. Got more RBIs. Batting average. He's batting 188. Machado is batting 188 compared to
by
Chapman's
the end of the year, who
245.
do you think is going to be better? Do you think Machado?
Probably neither. They both suck. They both suck with the bat, right? Now, look, is Matt Chapman a little bit better as far as batting average and on base? Yes. But look at that. Look at those numbers. And again, you're paying a lot more money for Machado. And I don't think that the Padres are going to be able to move Machado anyways. No way. Just because of that contract. Now, yeah, sure, he has more home runs, but how many times has he hit a home run compared to compared to how many times he's going back to the dugout with a bat in hand? I mean, that is terrible, man. And that's what I'm saying. Matt Chapman is going to have some value in his defense. It's not the best. I'm not saying you're going to go out there and trade for the next Babe Ruth. But if you want to get Matt Chapman off your team and get a little bit of something back because you have your third baseman in Casey Schmidt, well, you try to move him. But whether or not you're going to be able to is going to be that's a hurdle that the organization is going to have to try to get across, because with that no trade, it's not going to be easy.
Eric, your comparison there, you said they both suck. So again, who is trading for a guy that you feel sucks?
I hear you. And it's not going to be easy. I'm telling you, another team may not want a Matt Chapman. That's a fact. Another team, but I'll guarantee you another team will not 100% definitely not want a Manny Machado.
And at the trade deadline, if they get rid of, let's say Lee is on the board, Lee, Ray, and Arise, who the hell gets on base on this club, Eric?
Yeah, who gets on base?
Who the hell got? We were talking last night, Lou, about getting crooked numbers and how the Giants. I'm sick and tired, absolutely sick and tired of Eldridge. And our first baseman was solo knocks. That's all they do. Well, home run Devers. Well, there's one run. That's all. How can a guy have so many home runs? Well, Lou, you brought up some great stats last night about Eldridge and how his performance is so pathetic. How many home runs does he have, Lou, compared
7.
to RBIs?
I think he's 7-18, but one of them was a grand slam.
Yeah, so how do you figure that out, Eric?
15.
I'm not. This is not about Bryce Eldridge, man. He's 21. He's just figuring it out to put everything on.
Then why isn't he figuring it out in Sacramento? Again, this team sucks. We're making excuses.
No.
Then he should be playing in Sacramento. There's a reason we're 16 games out.
Don't you want the young guys to play? Isn't that what we want? We need the young guys to play. And I don't care what the numbers he's putting up right now, for the simple fact he's figuring it out. He's 21 years old. He's going to figure this out one way or another. Either he's going to be a major league player or he's not. And I'm not going to put all the onus on young Bryce Eldridge, because you got another 8 guys in the lineup that also have to contribute. I'm not worried about it. Let's just see what he has.
Now, the other thing, Eric, I think you guys talked about it on Friday. There's no clutchness. No one's clutch on this team.
No,
that's really bad.
No, there isn't. That is a problem. There is an issue with getting those hits with runners in scoring position. I mean, how many? I don't think what am I talking about? They never had someone at. No, they did have someone at second base, right? Didn't they have one person at second base
on the walk? I can't remember.
You know what? Nope, they had no one in running position. No, you can't have a hit with a runner.
They lose another series and another game. They drop at home. That's the other problem. Is I don't mean to say how bad Tony V and Buster is, but they got a chance. 10 games below 500 at home, 25 games overall. That's horrible. And the other thing too is, here's the thing: say there is no season next year. What do you have to look forward to get excited in 2028? Because 2030 is really when all the young guys are coming. I mean, we're all going to be talking about this weekend with the draft. These are the Giants. You have complete morons in charge. You know what they're going to do? They're going to wind up taking that shortstop. Why? He's local. He went to UCLA. Somehow they're going to get him, even though they know they should do what the Angels did last year. Every one of their picks was a pitcher. Why? Because we don't have anybody in the farm system pitching-wise. You guys got to start thinking, because all you claim is pitching and defense. Okay, we're going to wind up having 6 shortstops, which is great if you want to trade a few, because last time I looked, you can only play 1 at a time. And 2 of them right now that we got in the international are sort of about the same age. So it's going to be a problem. And I just think, the Giants got to be, the Giants are who the Giants are. Okay. We're wanting them to actually do something smart on the draft. Well, that's something we'll talk about. Watch who they pick, why they pick. Oh, he's a local kid. He's this, it's just, the excuses are just getting old. Step up, get a pitcher or get a power guy. We don't need another shortstop.
I'll tell you what, that this organization's going to they're feeling the pressure, man. This draft is going to be a very important draft, just for the simple fact of where the Giants are right now. They're in a bad way, and they need to hit on that number 4 pick. Cannot be a miss. And we all know, MLB draft is not easy. Even picking someone at the number 1 is not a guarantee that he's going to come and be a significant contributor to your club. But for this year, the Giants need to hit on this number 4 pick, whoever it may be. And I don't know who it's going to be, man.
And they got lucky. They're getting what, the 30, is it the 29th to 31st pick?
They're getting the 4th, the 5th, or the 29th. And then I think they got the 57th or something like that.
29th.
As well.
They got to hit on both those.
They have to. They do. So look, they're going to be under a lot of pressure. And they cannot miss. They can't miss. Whether it's a position player or whether it's a pitcher, they cannot miss. And look, and I don't know what the timeline they're looking at, right? You know, I always hear you get the best player available, and I totally understand that. But what if that player is not within the timeline of where the Giants are going to be? Should the Giants get someone that's going to be ready in 1 to 2 years? I mean, it's not a bad thing, but is that the need? Or should they get someone that's going to be ready in 3 to 4 years?
Lou, we see that in the football draft all the time. The team just picks, they meet their needs with the best player in that particular position.
Yeah.
The Giants have got to do that, I think. We talked about it on the show last night, Lou. Remember, people were in the chat, Eric, last time. Well, if we trade for this first baseman, what do we do? I've said that to you before, Eric, countless times, especially during off-season shows when there's nothing else to talk about, like the Giant season 2026, nothing to talk about. So I was talking about some possible trades, and Lou and I were bringing up some stories off the web and the White Sox prediction. I predict the Pirates might be involved. Now they're starting to bubble under. But people are still talking about, well, let's trade for this. Why do we need 6 of first baseman or 6 shortstop or 6 third baseman? Or let's go get this guy. Why? You have to meet your needs. You can't just go out there and they're floundering around. I want this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy, like me drafting 8 catchers. It doesn't make sense, but, well, it would make
Eric,
sense.
Eric, I think you bring up a great point. Okay, they haven't picked this high. I sort of remember 3 picks. They got Busser that dropped down to 4, even though he was the Golden Spike Award. And that was because nobody wanted to sign the bonus that he wanted. Okay. The Giants hit a home run with that.
Yeah.
They then had the number 2 pick. They picked Bart. Disaster. We can't do anything. You know, now you get number 4. You can't have 3 top 5 picks in a period of 10 years and only get 1 right. So, you know, they got
that's not good.
They got to hit a home run. You got to get a home run or a triple. If not,
100%. I'm with you. That you have to hit. And look, there's a catcher out there, the Golden Spikes Award winner. What's his name? I think it's Daniel Jackson, I know his last name's Jackson. I can't remember what his first name is, but he's out there, and I don't know if that's something that would wait until pick 29, right? Because I don't know if you want to pick him at number 4, you're going to have to go a little bit bigger than that. But
Eric, I have a question for you.
It's going to be interesting to watch this draft.
The draft is here
this weekend.
What do you think the Giants' biggest needs are?
Pitching
and catching. Eric mentioned catching.
Catching.
We're on about our 5th catcher, 6th catcher this year, and none of them are any good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the catching, is Susak the answer? I don't know. I don't think anyone can answer whether it's Susak, whether it's Kavanaugh, whether it's Rodriguez. Let's just say this: were they easily replaced? Are all those guys? Are they expendable?
Yes.
There you
go. I think they all are, because Susak was the flavor of the a 2-week period. Now he's injured. You know, we don't know.
Twice. He's been injured twice now with his elbow and now his back. Yeah.
You know, and the other thing is people forget this. It's not like we drafted Susak. We got lucky because the A's already have a Hall of Famer at catcher. They didn't need him. You know, it's sort of like when the Giants got JT Snow. JT Snow got drafted by the Yankees behind Don Mattingly. He was never going to play first. So they had to trade him. You know, and that's one of the things, you know, you guys all talk about Giants, lifers. You know, that's got to get away. You know, one of the things I said last year, I don't want us to ever trade for anyone that lives in the Bay Area because they're failures. If they were good when they lived in the Bay Area, the Giants probably would have drafted them. Okay, we're always getting these crumbs, you know, that used to be good. I also don't want to ever get a pitcher again that's had surgery. That was good maybe 3 or 4 years ago. You know, we got to stop this. Stop looking at the name of the baseball card and really look at the stats on the back. You know, you look at Adames, his stats, except for the year before he became free agent, were all mediocre. Chapman has had one great offensive year. I know we signed him for his defense, but, you know, it was a bad signing. You know, so we got to start actually doing things the correct way. You know, when we had our special guest last week, which seems like it was a month ago, he brought up a point about the Cubs, lovable losers, you know, and he's saying the same thing about the Giants. Nobody's talking about the Giants. They're all talking about the ballpark, just like Wrigley. Well, that's a horrible way to run a business. You have a great ballpark, but nobody talks about the teams. The other thing is if the Giants do have a sack, they got to start getting rid of some of these bad guys. DFA Walker, no one needs him, right? If you really want to do something right and you can improve the team and you can trade Lee, that's a major step considering what Lee has done for the Giants. He's been productive. He has his own fan club. They have more giveaways involving Lee. And if you look, during every commercial, Lee's involved because they don't really have that superstar. He's the face of the Giants right now. He is the face of the Giants. So if you're going to do something, that's a step in the right direction.
Lou, if they trade Lee, you lose the Asian community, and that is half of, I think, their fan base right there. And contrary to what I said earlier about going and getting pitching and pitching, maybe a catcher, I think it's time that we somehow find in the draft a 5-tool player. Even if you got to draft a bunch of them to hit on one. This is a team built on too many 1-tool players, and it's not coming together.
You know, hey, because I know the draft's coming up and we're talking trade, but I'll tell you what. As far as trading Lee, I hope it kind of sounds bad. Should it matter whether or not what the fans think to a certain respect? Yes, he's a fan favorite, Jung-Hoo Lee. But shouldn't Buster Posey do what's best for the organization in making this team better, though?
That's
see what I'm
it's
saying?
all about.
Right. So it would suck because Jung-Hoo Lee is fun. He brings energy to the ballpark. I get it. But you know what even brings more energy to the ballpark? When you got a team that's going to be winning every single damn day. You know, that's what I would.
No Shohei Ohtani, Eric. So
no,
yeah,
there you go. Right.
And again, when you're 16 games under 500, 16 today, 16 games below 500, you trade anybody.
Ridiculous. We're to that point,
Buster
right?
Posey, we're talking about the draft and how they fix this, Eric, and get better. Buster Posey put us in the situation. We're just trying to dig ourselves out of his mess.
Yeah. Hey, there, you got a point there. A lot of this is self-inflicted. Well, what I say, all of this is self-inflicted by the decisions that have been made.
Goes back to last year's trade deadline. I think it's when it all started.
And Ocean says he sells tickets. I get it. No way. But that's the problem. Then there's a disconnect in the organization. If you're not willing to move off of a guy like, and I'm not saying that you have to, but if you're going to get a haul back because the Giants just aren't going anywhere, and you got some outfielders that are coming up through the system, why not move Jung-Hoo Lee? If it's going to make your team, that's what it should be, right? And I get it. I understand it's a money-making business. But you know what? I tell you, winning will make you more money than anything else, man. Look at the Blue Jays last year, right? You had a bunch of cast of characters that you never heard of. Lukes and Barger and guys like that. And they were packing the house, right, in Toronto. Because they were winning. It didn't matter. Yeah, you had your Vladdy, but still you had other guys that were contributing to that team. And the fan base digged it because they were winning.
Hey, Eric and Glenn, I have a question. So I was watching the MLB network because the Giants broadcast was too homerish. So they brought up a great point with Philadelphia. And I want to ask you, do the Giants do this? Okay. So they interviewed Donnie Baseball. How is it managing with Philly compared to when you managed with Florida? Great question, right? So they asked about their GM, who is very well known. I can't remember his name off the top of my hand, but
Dombrowski.
Yeah, Dombrowski. So he says, how is it? He goes, let me tell you something. After every game and before every game, him, the president of operations, the assistant GM, and Don sit down. Do you think Buster does that? Him, Manaya, sit down with Tony V and talk before or after?
I can't answer that. That's something you have to ask Tony Vitello.
So that's something that I said. And I go, you know what? That's the big difference. Philly's all about winning, and they want the ring. The Giants right now, it's not a priority. And they, again, they fired their manager right away, and it made a huge difference. They also got a manager that probably, to tell you the truth, was never even someone even on the Giants' radar. You know what I mean? And he basically took the players, former great player. Remember, Tony V didn't play, okay? He didn't play baseball. Donnie did. So he's on their level. He knows what he's doing. And I just thought I heard that, and it made me think, I see Buster when they go on the road, but I just see him by himself. I've never seen Mania. I've never seen Mania when I go to a Giants game. I never see him in the locker room. I don't know where he is, but it's just different approaches on different teams. One team's battling, and they're battling Atlanta, and they're probably going to catch him, and the Giants are in the cellar.
Maybe he's still over in Korea. Who knows? We left him there.
Man, I tell you what.
Forgot to bring him back.
Hey, I'm going to ask
the
you guys
margaritas are here. You don't need to go to Korea to get a margarita.
Hey, I'm about to play the ad right now, but when we come back, I want to ask you guys, what'd you guys think of John Schneider having Dylan Cease go out for the 8th and the 9th? I was surprised, and there's an interesting quote that I want to bring up. So let's go to break, and then we'll talk about John's decision to stick with Cease when we come back.
All right, Lou. Eric brought up a great point there about sending Dylan Cease out for the 8th and 9th innings. I think that's what you were leaning into, Eric. Right, Eric?
Oh, he's
right, Eric.
I didn't expect that, honestly. After that 7th inning, I was like, all right, they're going to wind up doing a combined no hitter and not let him go out. And then when I saw they had shots of him in the dugout, and he was sitting on the far end, and he wasn't icing his arm, I'm like, okay, he's going out for the 8th. I was like, wow, all right. I kind of like this. Again, this decision is 100% based on what John Schneider decides. Nobody else is getting involved in that. He has to make that decision whether or not he wants Dylan Cease to go out there. He already had over 100 pitches, right? If I'm not mistaken, by the end of that 7th, and he's going back out to him for the 8th. He got through the 8th. He throws him back out there for the 9th, and I'm like, man, this is. You don't see this in Major League Baseball. A lot of times they will err on the side of caution talking about managers. But listen to what or read what John Schneider had to say. Talked about if he wanted to let Dylan Cease continue with his no-hit. And he goes, I'm a fan of baseball. If I can let a player have that opportunity, I'm going to do it every single time. I love it, man. I love it.
So you're okay with him going out there in the 8th and 9th?
I am.
Good.
I am.
Good. Because would we be having this even conversation? Will we, if Bruce Bochy had pulled out Tim Lincecum at like 138 pitches and he didn't get a no-hitter against the Padres, I mean, will we be having the same conversation? I think the fact the game was A, over in the first inning, B, he's got the no-hitter intact and he was pitching like he could have thrown one. Why wouldn't you? I mean, this is July, gentlemen. This is July. Guys aren't warming up their arms. There's no reason why this guy can't go out and pitch 9 innings. He's Dylan Cease. The Chris Sales and the Dylan Ceases. I know we're not aware of who those type of players are in San Francisco. You're not aware of those kind of performances, but that is what an ace-type pitcher does, Eric. Doesn't give up 5 runs in the first inning one game after being shellacked out of town the last. So, good outing by Cease.
Yeah, I thought what was clever is, again, I was watching the MLB Network, is he was at 105. People forget he's already pitched a no-hitter. So he knows what it takes.
This is a second one. Yeah.
Second opportunity. So basically what MLB Network said, with 105, if he's going out, he has 10 pitches to get the inning. That was it. And he got 9. So then he basically said He had one batter. You give up a hit, you're out in the ninth.
Cool.
And again, that's what they were saying. They had the former pitcher on the show. So, again, he pitched great, but it was only 118 pitches. You go when the Freak pitched, I think it was 138. But here's the other thing. Why not let him go? Because he's not pitching because of the major league, the break. You know what I mean? He's not going to be going the next thing. He's going to be getting a week off because of the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So everything worked out. He just didn't get it. So I thought it was pretty amazing, but I also think him being a veteran and he's done it, if this is someone like, say, Kyle Harrison, right, who really hasn't done it before, he's never pitched that much, and you have a future, then maybe, you know what, I don't think I got to do it. Because, again, they were talking in the 7th inning. If, say if this was Webb, remember, this just happened to Webb when he didn't want to come in the 9th when they gave up one of the games. I just think it's one of those things where he's proven his point. He's done it before. And again, it's once in a lifetime opportunity. He's done it before. He deserved to. And you know what I thought was great? Let him. You already got the win.
Don't overmanage.
Yeah. There you go. Don't overmanage. Good call.
Yeah. And hey, that's a good point, because maybe it would be different. For example, if Kyle Harrison, matter of fact, is pitching today, if he got that high, would what's his name? Who's the manager of Milwaukee? How come I can't think of it off the top of my head? I know what he looks like.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyways, would he have let Harrison go out? I don't know. For that simple reason, because he's a young guy. They got the rest of the season ahead of them. Dylan Cease is more of a veteran. He understands. You said it. He understands what that situation entails. Pat Murphy, thank you, Ken Burns. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a little bit different. But I just like those type of decisions being made by the manager. It seems like and you think it's an easy decision, but in today's baseball, it seems like it isn't. It isn't as clear cut as it was even 10 years ago. Would you even say? I mean, it's a different type of baseball this year or these days. Again, a lot of it though has to do also with money.
Everything about our organization, guys, we're trying to fix the what literally Buster Posey has come in and damaged himself. Lou has talked about our ball boys. They're not young boys anymore. We got the strangest cast of characters as far as ball boys and ball girls. I mean, Milwaukee, look, they bring in a manager, 97 wins last year, Eric, for Murphy. They bring in Murphy, 97 wins. We bring in a new manager, we're 16 games below 500.
Have we hit 40 wins?
They got front row Amy, Lou. They got front row Amy, keeps a scorebook. She's better looking than our guy keeping a scorebook up in the 300s.
Yeah, well, I think the thing you're forgetting is their manager went to their rivals for the money. He left Milwaukee to go to Chicago.
Yep.
And you know what? Did. Milwaukee has made, here's the other thing. It's not about money. Milwaukee has their payroll's a lot less than us. And they've been in the playoffs. It's going to be 3 straight years. So I think it's one of those things. And I know we talk about this. It's not spending the money. It's spending the money right and having a farm system, because a lot of those guys that they have now have gone through the system. And they also don't let guys walk. They don't let them walk on trades. The only time they've ever really spent money where they actually gave up prospects is they did the right thing. They had an ace. They had an ace in Chapman, and they traded him to the Yankees. You know what I mean? And because he was free agent and they got the players, you got to be smart. And this is why I think this might be Buster's biggest of his career. Forget baseball, but in biggest career, he's got literally a month to do what's right. You got to trade the players, because all Giants fans got upset at Farhan. You never traded him, even though you walked, even though you weren't going to sign him. Here's a chance. You got a chance to actually get rid of a lot of the dead wood, get that AAA, not single A or double A, but AAA going for the next couple of years. I think if Buster fails on this, I don't think he deserves to be back. It's right there on his silver platter. Get rid of him. So
And we're
I
weak
think
in
this
every
is Buster's
department,
biggest
Eric.
month.
Eric, you find me some kind of a part of this, the cog in this wheel that is the bonus. Our starting pitching stinks. Our bullpen stinks. I think our GM stinks. Buster stinks. The manager, I think he stinks. What? Eric, I'm looking for the angels to fly down now and strike me dead and tell me you're wrong. This is what is it? Is it because, well, Glenn, you're wrong because the Giants have more Hello Kitty days than any other organization. Is that the bright spot? People jump in line to get in.
We have cost to run the bases. We're dead last in running bases. Today, we had 3 more errors.
Give me a 5-tool player.
By the way, I don't know if you heard this. Cox is on the IL. So no more running by Cox. He's got a strained oblique. He's probably going to be out at least at the minimum a month. Jesus Rodriguez is on the team again.
What are we doing, guys? It's certainly not from mismanagement, overuse.
It was hamstring. Now it's the old stomach things. All right.
The obliques are no joke, man. They are. And for whatever reason, he's hurt. And
what a team.
So he's on IL. Injuries happen. It stinks. So you're not going to be able to see that blazing speed on the base pads anymore. But
we never used it to our advantage anyway.
We never used it anyway, huh?
And here's the scary part. The injuries that we've talked about probably 6 weeks ago. Giants were 12, 13, 14 games below 500 being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're 16 and they're starting to break down. Again, remember, I think it was last year where everyone was pulling hamstrings. This year, it's all obliques. It's just, it's very strange. And here's the other thing. If you bring up Rodriguez, why is he not catching? I don't want to see Haas and these guys. I want to see at least Rodriguez, who was the flavor of the weekend, about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It's another sign of indecision among this management group. Blue, they don't know. They're so bad. They don't know who to play. They don't know what they've got. He catches for a week.
Don't put him on the outfield. We already seen him in the outfield. But I don't want him in the outfield.
Then he's out. And then back to the minors. Come on, this team. I'd still like to see Bryce Eldridge. At this point in the year, Eric, I understand. I understand why he's up and everything else. But I'd still like to see him at AAA, Eric. Play with a better team, better organizational team, get his confidence ready. You bring him up, and he's proven he can somewhat hit at the major league level.
Mm.
And there were some people questioning what Lou and I were talking about earlier in the chat. His numbers speak for themselves. You're looking at the front of the baseball card again, guys, not the back. Lou, what were those numbers? 7 home runs. How many RBIs?
18.
Those numbers don't equate.
4 of them on one swing.
Yeah, it doesn't equate.
Just not worried about him.
But
just
here's the other thing.
I know, Eric, but what does that do for a guy playing at the major league level with a team this bad? You keep saying he's 21. Yeah, that's exactly why he should still be at AAA this year now. At this point of the year, Eric, why is he playing?
Why not? The Giants aren't going anywhere, so less pressure. You just let him go out there and get his at-bats.
Well, then I have an argument with that, Eric. I have a big argument with that. Why then do you have, on several occasions, the manager come out in the scrum and say, well, we're not playing him today because, that's a really good pitcher over there. So come on.
No, if
he's going to play, you play him.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
So
I said that from the beginning. I said that from the very beginning.
Yeah. Eric and
Glenn. Hey, you got to talk to Tony about that. I've said all along, if he's going to be up, he needs to play, not sit the bench.
Eric, that's why maybe your priority is trade players to make sure Eldridge stays up. I don't want him DHing all the time. Put him at first. The other thing too is Giants are so bad. If you trade Ramos, trade Bader or DF, something like that. I thought he was training to play in the outfield. Do something so he stays in the lineup, but you're going to have to trade so there are holes to fill with him.
I don't know. Who are you going to get better?
That's the biggest problem.
Lou, you trade Ramos. You tell me who you're getting better than Ramos.
That depends who you get in return.
Yeah. Depends on the
I think
back.
I don't think they trade Ramos.
Wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, especially with the emergence of Barracuda. I would not be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised?
Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they move off either Lee or Ramos at this particular. I don't know if they move both of them, but
yeah, they can afford
maybe
to.
one of them are going to be gone because I think Barracuda.
Do you think they would trade part of them?
I don't know what they're going to do.
Get rid of one of the big contracts, so you trade Ramos and someone like Devers.
That would see. I don't like that because now you're diluting what you're going to get back if you just trade that one guy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're saving the money with the Devers contract.
You ain't getting rid of Devers. Devers
I think the only way to trade those is exactly what Lou's talking about. You got to get spicy. You're gonna have to try to intrigue them. We'll give you him, but here's the deal: we'll give you your Ramos, and they'll be salivating. But we'll do you a favor. You're going to do us a favor. That's how that's going to work out.
Yeah. You might have to take bad money on.
And what about this Devers? Well, let's talk Devers, Eric. He fits in with the San Francisco Giants in 2026, doesn't he? Solo home runs all over the place. He's not contributing when the pressure's on. And then he looks like he's a Gold Glove first baseman. He's picking balls like a vacuum cleaner. And then they throw one right to his glove. Oops.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oops. What was that? Tailor-made double play. Oops. And then he threw it. Oh, let's play bouncy ball. Okay, Webb, you run to first, and I'll bounce it to you and see if you're such a good Gold Glove winning,
that was bad.
Winning pitcher. So I don't know. I'm not a Devers fan.
His defense has been pretty good. Today was a bad game. There's no doubt about it.
I think the defense first and second have been better than our shortstop and third.
He's not Lou. You're not wrong, man. But I'll say one thing.
But he's not consistent.
As far as Chapman's still a good third baseman, though. I mean, even though he's got you got to also look at how many more attempts or balls that are hit to him. A lot more at third base. I mean, you get a lot of balls hit to third base. So you got to be careful on that because his chances are going to be much more than, say, a second baseman or even a first baseman. So you got to kind of take that into the equation too. But still, I like what I've seen from Devers at first base. Granted, and look, there's going to be times you're going to have a bad game. And Arise, I tell you what, man, it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants are going to get from him. It's going to suck seeing him go. Really is.
Eric, the only way that Matt Chapman looks good in 2026 is if he's wearing a different uniform.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's no good. He's no good, Eric. More errors, it's going to lead to more errors. The guy's getting older. He's not what he was, and he never was really an offensive third baseman to begin with.
See, and there you go.
The Blue Jays couldn't wait. Giants. There's another case, Eric. Another case. I'll do a 180. Everybody wants our bullpen players. We're going to be able to trade our bullpen at the Blue Jays couldn't. They were begging somebody to take him. They didn't want it. Toronto wanted him out so badly.
They released him. The Giants picked him up a week left before the season.
Yes, they didn't want the guy. And again, another case of, but he's such a great Giant. Well, nobody else wants this kind of player. Nobody else wants him.
You're going to be surprised on what the Giants will be able to do. I'll bet you they're going to be able to move one or two bullpen arms. It's going to be, that's just the way that it goes.
Eric's saying the bullpen can be traded. I
think the over-under is a half.
They can pick them up to other teams. They want our bullpen. Just wait for them to be released. Because
if Walker gets DFA'd, somebody will give him a AA or a AAA contract, but not a major league contract.
But I think the Giants will be able to trade a couple. You watch. You think
somebody will take? You think somebody would pick him up, Walker?
No. Oh, you mean as a minor league contract?
Why?
Yeah, probably.
Why?
Just for depth in the minor leagues.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to be developing play. He's passed. He's done.
He probably is.
I can't see anybody wanting him.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's interested in Ryan Walker. You want to sign him to a AA contract? Nope. I got guys I need in AA.
Buster Posey was able to trade Duvall, and he wasn't much better.
But Duvall was a closer. Yankees went out.
He wasn't good.
They rolled the dice. He was a closer.
But he wasn't good.
Walker's not a closer. Walker's a nothing.
No, Walker's not a closer.
He's a nothing.
Duvall should have never been a closer. would have been nice, but he just didn't. I don't know what it is. He's got the stuff. It's the same thing. Walker's got great stuff. Miller's got great stuff. Duvall's got great stuff, but they can't command it. And
I
if
saw
you can't
Tyler
command
Rogers
it,
today.
forget about it.
He looks happy you're wearing a Toronto Blue Jays jersey.
Yeah. Now he's getting paid too. He's getting paid. He got a pretty damn good contract from the Toronto Blue Jays in offseason.
Another Buster Posey gem. Let's trade our setup man. We don't have one, but let's trade one.
Yeah.
This organization's a joke. A joke. And we all come back and buy front row seats. It's ridiculous.
Hey, we'll see if they can turn it around. And that's all you got right now. Because 2026.
16 out, we're taking on Colorado. I said to Lou in the morning show today, I said, that may be one of the best contested. Hey, Wilmer. I think that might be one of the best contested series of the year because you're going to have two teams that are equal. It's no longer a Giants-Dodgers, the big series. Not a big series. Big series is Colorado and the Giants. Two teams, equal footing. And I think at best, it's 500. I think we split this weekend. What do you guys feel?
Oof. I tell you what, Colorado can swing the bats, man. Their pitching is awful, but they can swing the bats, man. They got some young guys that are pretty good. I don't know, man. I don't. Hey, I'll tell you what, a split would be nice. I'll go there. A split will be nice.
And I think it's sort of amazing. And because I remember the show before the July 4th where everyone was happy when Webb pitched great and Ray pitched great. I go, guys, we still got 3/5 of our starters that we have to do. And none of them have shown up.
Yep.
I mean, again, it's gone twice. It's just, that's the problem. Yeah.
Hey.
Walker is turning Japanese. I really think so. That's pretty good.
Hold on,
that was the Vipers, by the way, who sang that song, in case Glenn was wondering. The Vipers.
No, it's not, Lou. It's the Vapors.
No, it's American call it the Vipers, not the Vapors, but thank you.
There you go.
Vipers.
Walker is turning Japanese.
I was talking to the band
Thanks,
about
Rob.
3 weeks ago, and they never told me that. I don't know, Lou.
The
Lead singer's
Rockies are
wrong. Lead singer's wrong, Eric. So it's okay. It's okay.
The starting pitcher for the Rockies tomorrow, Feltner. Remember, he spun a gem against the Giants in Colorado.
Ooh.
And he's probably going to give the Giants some more trouble.
What is it, Eric? The worse pitcher you are, the better your chances against the Giants.
Hold on. What did he do? Let me look at the game.
Our worst games are always against the worst, the best of the best, or the worst of the worst. We make the worst.
He
look
went
so good.
He went 6 innings, struck out 9, only gave up 2 earned runs. Again, that's Ryan.
Struck
Feltner.
out 9, and
Struck
now
out 9.
we're coming off a game where we struck out 11 times.
And got one hit.
Yeah, well, yeah. What are you going to do? Let's get the hell out of here. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow evening for the post game, but you'll be able to catch us in the morning for the morning edition. Should be fun. And yeah, Liam, absolutely. The 2 games that I went and watched the game with him on this channel, it was both against Colorado, in Colorado, and they've lost both times. So, yeah, not doing that. Not doing it, man.
But Liam, we're looking forward when you come out here, joining us for a game, bud.
Jay says, Glenn loves the band Chilliwack. I actually love the origins of Chilliwack when they were the Collectors, and they toured with Jimi Hendrix. They toured with The Doors, Janis Joplin. People forget Chilliwack was the Collectors, and we're part of Festival Express back in the day, I believe.
Look at this. Bring in the music knowledge.
Well, when you got it, flaunt it. I can't.
Hey,
I can't profess to know how to fix the Giants, Eric, but I do know a little music.
But you'll
Speaking of
know it. There
music,
you go.
Lou and I were like separated last Sunday morning.
From last
I had to
weekend,
do the
for
show on my
holiday.
own, and it just wasn't the same, Lou. And then Lou, it made making the our promos. If you weren't listening, made them tougher because they were all me.
Sorry.
So I'm looking forward to working with my pal Big Lou Marsden on
we'll
the
be
Sunday
back.
Morning Classics this Sunday morning at 9 on
There you
Capital
go.
FM. And guess what? It's a Northern Lights Entertainment production.
Hey, how about that?
Right on.
Sounds good.
Let's get the hell out of here. Guys, well, see you tomorrow. See ya.
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.